Well, welcome to the 2019 Auburn Area Candidates Forum. I am pleased to see so many members of the Auburn area community and business community here tonight. It's great that you guys came out to see our local candidates running for elected positions. It's important to us, and so I'm glad that it's important to others. I want to thank our candidates that could participate in tonight's forum. One, I truly appreciate your time and also your dedication to this process and wanting to serve your community. So thank you so much for coming. I think so too. I want to give a special thanks to the Auburn Amphitheater for hosting this event and helping us to be able to put this on. Also the City of Auburn for not only helping with coordinating, but also videotaping our event so that others can view this forum at a later time if they couldn't participate and make it here today. A huge thank you to our forum sponsor that made it possible for the Auburn Area Chamber to host this event, MultiCare. MultiCare truly is an amazing partner in the community, and we are so appreciative that they support our efforts in the Auburn area community as well by sponsoring events just like this. With that being said, I would love to introduce you to tonight's moderator, Ingrid Magia. She's the Executive Director of Government Relations from MultiCare Health System, and she'll be moderating this event tonight. Thank you, Director.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Casey. I'm absolutely pleased to be here on behalf of MultiCare. Thank you all for coming out, and we are so happy to sponsor this event in line with our mission, vision, and values, partnering for a healing and a healthy future. We think this is really important for every community that we are in. So a brief overview of the evening. Each candidate will have an opportunity to give opening remarks. Next, I will ask 3 questions to the candidates that they will respond with a yes or no sign that we have given them. Then I will ask 2 or 3 questions depending on time for each candidate to answer. And finally, each candidate will have an opportunity to provide closing remarks. So what I was going to introduce everyone, and I thought, people don't want to hear from me. So why don't we go down the line, and we have 2 microphones, and each person can introduce themselves and what they are running for. And then once we've done that, we will go back down the line the other way, and everyone can give their 2 minutes opening statements.
Control it. Okay.
Yes.
My name's Arlista Holman, and I'm running for Auburn School Board, District 2.
Hi, Josh Putnam, running for City Council in Pacific.
Vera Rondic Hodak, position 7, City Council, Auburn.
Bob Baggett, City Council, and I'm running for re-election this year, position number 7.
Good evening. My name is Robin Malenga, and I am running for Auburn City Council, position number 5.
Hi, I'm Ryan Burnett, and I'm running for Auburn City Council, position number 5.
Hi, Ken Pearson, running for Auburn City Council, position 3.
Good evening. This is James Jairaj, running for Auburn Council, City Council, position number 3.
Hi, good evening. My name is Chris Stearns, and I'm running for all of the positions. No, I'm just kidding. I'm running for position number 1.
Thank you. That would be really great, though, if you were running for all the positions. You could just dance around the end of the table. Okay. So we will start. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to give opening remarks. A card will be held up by Casey over there in the corner. When you have 30 seconds remaining, you have 2 minutes for your opening remarks, and then there will be a stop sign when your time is up. Chris, would you like to start?
Sure, you bet. Thank you. Appreciate it, Ingrid. So again, good evening, and thank you all for joining us here tonight. My name is Chris Stearns, and I'm running for Auburn City Council position number 1 because I believe that each of us deserves a voice who represents our values, our interests. And the time has come for the city, for the council, to truly reflect the diversity and the people who live and work in our community. My life's experiences, they've taught me how to stand up and to fight for justice. As a Native American, as a Navajo, and as someone who spent the first 3 years of my life in foster care in Los Angeles County, don't do that, by the way. I know what it's like to get knocked down, but I also know what it means to get up, to persevere, and to struggle. And as a lawyer with a 30-year career representing Native American tribes, I know what it is to speak for those who don't have a voice and to fight for justice. And what I wanted to do was also just let you know that my goal here, and the reason I'm running, is also to bring a voice that represents some of my life struggles and my experiences. There's a lot of people going through homelessness and a lot of people in treatment for addictions. My family, we've really felt just the horrible effects of addiction. But I've been blessed to be able to work with the Seattle Indian Health Board. I'm on the board there, and work on a treatment center called Thunderbird Treatment Center. And so what I've learned is that I would like to bring the same level of compassion, the same level of love, and the same level of empathy to the city council. So my goal here is to just bring our voices, our diversity, and those compassion, love, and empathy to the council and to the community. So thank you.
Hello, my name is James Jairaj once again. I want to thank Multicare and Auburn Area Connect for holding this forum. Next, I want to acknowledge and thank retiring Position 3 Council member Bill Pelosa for serving on the council for 16 years, who has tirelessly worked on behalf of our veterans in Auburn. I'm running to serve you and your family on the Auburn City Council Position 3. Originally, I'm from Singapore, called Pacific Northwest home since '85, and eventually moving to Auburn in 2007. I've been active in the Auburn community as a member for the city's Park and Recreation Board, and as well as volunteering at various community events. We have big city problems that we are facing, including homelessness, the opioid epidemic, affordable housing, and improving the quality of life for our residents. As your city council member, it is my pledge to work with my fellow council members, the mayor, staff, and community to work towards common goals and workable solutions for our city. I also want to work hard to bring jobs and economic opportunities home for our residents. But in order to continue to attract quality employers and new residents, we need to make strategic investments to ensure Auburn is a place we are all proud of to call home. This means we need to invest funds in public safety, repairing our roads, sidewalks, ensuring we continue to have vibrant park system. These are the amenities that new residents, businesses look at when looking for a new home. Thank you.
Hi, Ken Pearson again, running for Auburn City Council Position 3. I saw all this Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff, and I thought we were going to have to do the time warp again. There we go. Councilmember Bill Pelosa, who has served the Auburn community honorably and admirably, is stepping down, so I'm stepping up. The City Council's job is to provide an environment that makes it possible for a safe, secure, and prosperous community. We have local issues that need local solutions. We don't need to embrace the failed policies of the big cities. We need a voice of responsibility and common sense on the City Council, not another bobblehead with a rubber stamp. Now, I'm not a polished politician, nor am I politically correct. I've been called brutally honest, and what you see is what you get. You can expect me to do what is right for the community, not special interest. Auburn is my special interest. It's my home. It's our home. You work hard for the money in which you pay your taxes, and you deserve representation that works just as hard to responsibly spend those dollars in order to provide the services you expect. A vote for me is a vote for you and your voice.
Hi there, my name is Ryan Burnett, and I'm running for Auburn City Council, position number 5. Real quick about myself, after graduating high school valedictorian, I went to the Army for a couple of years, went to Kuwait on the Iraqi border. When I came home, I decided that I wanted to become a chef, and for 20 years I've been a chef, mentor, and a leader, leading up to 75 team members to successful restaurant openings and rebrandings. I also am responsible for a budget of that's equal to the city's general fund, so I'm comfortable with looking at income statements and dealing with those types of numbers. In my job, in my position, I'm known as being very passionate, determined. I consider myself both pragmatic and creative when I'm finding solutions for the issues. I wanted to talk real quick about my three top issues. Crime in the city is extremely high. 92% of the cities in America are safer than ours. And I think we need to put a real emphasis on public safety. We need to look at getting more funds towards our emergency services. Homelessness is also a big issue in our community right now. And I think we need to get together multiple services because there's different reasons why people become homeless, not just addiction. And the mayor right now is actually working on a program up north in Auburn that is a one-stop shop for all these services to help our community members get off the streets and our families. I think we need to build more housing for every income level. And I'll be working with the Realtors Party as they've endorsed me to help drive costs down in our community. Also the city budget, I want to get us back to financial basics. We need to make sure that we're spending less than we're earning, and I really want to attract more businesses and new types of businesses into our city to help bring up the city's revenue. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rob Malenga, and I'm currently a school board director for the Auburn School District. I'm running in this upcoming election for Auburn City Council position number 5. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to John Holman for all the work that he has done for our city. I've appreciated his support in working on this position. I'm running because I want to be a voice for the whole community. My vision for this position is to be a conduit for issues that are important to our community. As I've been going door to door throughout the city of Auburn, meeting folks and listening to the concerns that they've raised, I've heard that they want a clean city that's free from illegal dumping and graffiti. You want to see a downtown that's revitalized with options to shop and dine at. You want a safe, affordable city. And most, you want the homelessness crisis ended. I want to address these issues and more. I've been a resident of Auburn for the last 14 years. This is where I have chosen to raise my children. Auburn feels like a tight-knit community that fosters family. And we are a community. And as a community, we look out for each other and we help each other. If elected, I want to continue listening to the community and work on goals that are important to you. In addition to creating a clean, safer Auburn, some of my goals include building up the downtown area to attract more businesses and introducing some of the solutions for homelessness. Thank you for your support.
Hello, Auburn. My name is Bob Baggett, and 4 years ago, you elected me to be your representative to serve on the Auburn City Council. My slogan at the time was motivated to serve, and that remains unchanged today. Auburn has been my home for more than 23 years, and I became involved in civic affairs of our city to make a difference for our residents. As your city council member, I remain dedicated and motivated to move Auburn forward to prosperity. I will continue to work in collaboration with my fellow council members and the mayor to go over a 8-point list of items that I feel are most important, but yet there's still a lot more than these 8. Increase public safety. Create opportunities for availability of affordable housing for low-income families. Reduce or eliminate homelessness and behavioral health conditions in our city. Support the downtown and South Corridor expansions. Develop new businesses and job growth that promises family, wage-type jobs. Work towards the availability of a quality education for all of our youth. Encourage and strengthen tribal and multicultural development and growth within our very diverse city. ensure adequate resources and revenue streams for future city budgets, and assure fair and equitable tax and fee structures for our citizens. These are only a few of Auburn's challenges and opportunities that face us, and we can accomplish these together and using common sense solutions to resolve any of Auburn's issues in the years ahead. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Vera Orlandi Kodak, or Vera Orlandic Kodak. I am originally from former Yugoslavia, and over there I had home, I had a family, I was married, had a child, and during the war in former Yugoslavia, insanity of that war pushed me to make a decision to change location and find United States and the Seattle area as my new home. I came over here with my son, and I did not speak a word of English. So during that time, I took any job that was available to feed my kid. During the day, I work, and during the night, I was in a school. So after many years, I finished accounting, Bachelor of Science in Business Management, Leadership, and master degree in business leadership and international business. After that, I also finished project management, got a graduate certificate from Stanford, and I am also master black belt in Six Sigma. So those all qualifications are not important. I doorbell last 5 months, and I heard you that for you is most important safety. You want to be safe at home, at church, at street, park, and especially you want your kids to be safe in a school. And I heard you. Your opinion is my opinion. I also heard you that you want to fix streets and you want to be part of decision. So I heard you. Your decision is my decision. Also, you want to improve businesses in Auburn. And I heard you. Your decision and your opinion is my opinion.
Hi, I'm Josh Putnam, running for the seat on the Pacific City Council that Clint Steiger had intended to retire from and unfortunately has instead passed away from. I'd like to start by thanking the Chamber for representing the Auburn area, not merely Auburn, but those of us also in Pacific and Algona. We really do have regional issues that affect all of us. Pacific has, we're smaller than some neighborhoods of Auburn. We're not facing some of the same issues you are, but as every city in South King County, we're facing the impact of expensive growth. Labor's going up, land is going up, materials are going up, homelessness is being pushed south because it's too expensive to even be homeless in Seattle now. So I'm running because as a homeowner and as a parent and a taxpayer in Pacific, I want to see our city thrive along with our neighbors. I moved here when my children could barely walk, and I'm now getting ready to see them out of high school here in Auburn. And I'm looking forward to living the rest of my life here with my wife, Coralie. So I care about the future of our city. I want to see our taxes spent effectively to provide the services residents need, from police to parks to boring but important infrastructure projects like streets and sewers and storm drains. I want to see us take care of the taxes that our residents pay and spend them efficiently, but I also want to make sure that we meet the needs of all of our residents, not merely homeowners, not merely businesses, but also the people who need our support, the renters, and the people who can't even afford to rent. So thank you for your time tonight, and I hope we'll get your vote.
I'm Arlista Holman, and I thank you for inviting me to be here this evening. A little about me. I've lived in Auburn for over 40 years, My husband John and I raised our children here, and they both graduated from the Auburn School District. Like a lot of moms, I started out volunteering in the classroom, and I joined the PTA. And it was the PTA that eventually led me to becoming more involved in the community. I served on the City of Auburn Human Resource Committee, Green River Community College Board of Trustees, Auburn Youth Resources, which is now Nexus Youth and Family, and just recently, the Washington State Investment Board. I mention my board experience because I think that I need to let you know that I have the ability to work collaboratively in group discussions as we debate and make decisions on issues that impact any organization. I just retired from the Auburn School District after 30 years as a support staff employee. And though I was ready to retire my position as a high school registrar, I'm not ready to retire from service in the community. If elected, I want you to know that I have the time and the energy to serve on this board. I have 2 grandchildren attending the Auburn Public Schools, and their quality of education is important to me. As community members, whether we have children in school or not, if we're working or retired, we all have a vested interest in making sure that our students and our children have quality education, and that's why I'm running for school board.
Thank you. We will move now into the yes or no format question. Each candidate has a piece of paper that has yes and no, one on each side. I will ask a question, and then you will respond by holding up your card. It's no, Ryan, not on. Yeah. You know, to each their own. The first question. The Auburn City Council is considering adopting an ordinance banning smoking or vaping in public parks. Do you support this proposal? Yes or no? Thank you. Second question. Initiative 976 concerning motor vehicle taxes and fees will limit most vehicle license fee to $30. Do you support this initiative? Thank you. Last yes or no question. Referendum 88 on Initiative 1000 would allow the state to implement affirmative action and to remedy a discrimination for certain groups. Do you support this referendum?
I thought the referendum.
Thank you. Okay, you can put your cards away. Next, we'll move to the moderator questions. Again, you'll get 2 minutes. Casey will let you know when you have 30 seconds left, and then we'll show the stop sign when your time is up. I will start with Ms. Holman with her questions. First question, what kind of relationship should a district/school board have with members of the community, including the business community? Would you like me to repeat the question? Okay.
I think they should all be working collaboratively because it seems like that effort, you're saying the community, the college, and the school district?
Oh, no, just the school districts.
School districts and how they work.
And the business community.
The business community. Well, opportunity for kids when, to work with us to figure out what jobs are available in the community and how we can help students be prepared.
Thank you.
Detailed.
Second question. What do you see is the role that the school district should play in career and a technical education?
Well, from my experience, the high schools have lots of trade programs that our students take part in. Automotive, woodworking, welding, culinary arts, so forth. And not all students are on track to go to four-year universities, and sometimes those niche opportunities in trade gives them an opportunity to better their skills at the community college level and find something that's easier and, just more important to them. So, kind of stuck on that. I should have been prepared, but but I just believe that the tech programs are programs that we offer in the school district that students just gravitate towards, and there's opportunity out there for them.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the city council candidates. First question, and let's start, are you okay, Joshua, to start with you? Okay, thank you. There are times when the business community and the city council disagree. How would you lead the business community and the council to work for the good of the community?
I think a lot of times when there is a disagreement, it's as much a misunderstanding of each other's needs as it is a fundamental disagreement about what the right thing is for the people. So I think the first thing to do is to actually spend the time to sit down and talk about what is your position and why is that your position? Why do you want this when we think people want that? And if you'll actually sit down with all the parties involved and discuss it, most of the time you can find a solution that actually meets all of their needs. And the disagreement was simply a matter of not understanding what the other people wanted and perhaps compromising just a little on these people don't have to have everything they want, you don't have to have everything you want. If we can come to a reasoned solution, it'll serve all of us.
Thank you. Vera?
So I agree completely with you in your statement. I will just add, not to repeat what he already said. Chamber of Commerce is an organization that support small businesses and often communicate or work as a mitigator in between city and small businesses and businesses in general. So city and business have to work hand in hand together, try to find a resolution, because it's not about businesses or city, it's about you. And your opinion is more important, and city and businesses serving you, so should work together and find a solution, including communication and a resolution of the problem.
Thank you. Bob?
Well, we have in our city, fortunately, a downtown association, a BIA, which represents the businesses in the downtown corridor. And I think that many of the words that were already stated by my colleagues over here, I believe are true. However, I think that, the small businesses within our community are the foundation. Even though we're looking for larger family wage type jobs in our city, the foundation is the small businesses within our community, and we should value those. We're very fortunate to have these people here that represent the businesses. We have the networking that's put on by the city every month, which offers a networking opportunity for new businesses coming in, as well as the existing businesses as well. So I think the city is going really in the right direction by encouraging the small businesses, the large businesses, and trying to bring the city to be able to respond to the growth that this city is now experiencing.
I believe whenever there is disagreement, that both parties should work together to find a resolution. And for the city and for our businesses, the word that comes to mind is partnership. Within the next 10 years, we're anticipating to add another 6,400 jobs to our city. We already have 40,000 residents that come here daily to work here. And so in order to serve that population of our workforce, we need to be in partnership with our city council members. We want to see our downtown area revitalized. We want to see more businesses come here to our Auburn area. We need to be encouraging small businesses in the way we're talking about networking, our older businesses working with those that are attracting and coming here as new businesses. We need to encourage those small businesses and other industries to come here to Auburn. And so I'm all about partnership and working together.
Could you repeat the question for me one more time, just to freshen my memory here?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. There are times when the business community and the city council disagree. How would you lead the business community and the council to work for the good of the community?
I think it's important that the council works closely with the chamber, the Auburn Area Chamber of Commerce. They are the business community. Nobody knows better than them how to build a sustainable vision for our future when it comes to providing support for the current businesses that we have here, as well as attracting new businesses and new types of businesses. When there are disagreements, I agree with, I'm sorry, I can't remember the gentleman's name running for Pacific City Council, but I agree with them. I think sometimes you just need to sit down and figure out what is the end goal, what is it that we want, and oftentimes you can wipe away the disagreement and reach towards that common goal that you're looking for. So I will be, if elected, I'll be looking to work very closely with the Chamber of Commerce, which I actually already have begun doing with a fundraiser that we have coming up, hopefully early 2020. It's been delayed because of the current election, but I've been working with them and hearing from some of the business leaders, and I think it's very important that we work together, just like Robin said, in a partnership.
Well, when it comes to mine, it's partnership and compromise. We find out what they need. We let them know what we need, okay? Instead of throwing speed bumps and hurdles and making it difficult for them to open up a business or keep their business going, we need to find out what they need to stay awake. Look at Bartell's down at the south end. They shut down I asked them why. Their answer was the cost of business in Auburn is too high, so we're shutting down. The Albertsons right next door, they had $1 million in loss last year. They can't keep that store can't keep hitting $1 million of losses through shoplifting. The cops come, they do their job, but if the county doesn't do their job by throwing the shoplifters in jail, well, they're running around with impunity doing as they damn well please. So it's partnership, it's compromise, finding out what each other needs and finding a common goal.
Businesses provide a service for our community. So does the city. We have to come together and put our differences aside and be able to work together on common goals and come up with common solutions. And only then can we move forward and find solutions that work for the citizens of our city. And I've worked in diverse areas, with diverse people, and that's the thing that I look for, common goals and commonality, and work to find solutions with that.
Someone said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but not their own set of facts. So I really do believe in, working out solutions through facts. Once you know what the facts are, and I think, as mentioned, once you know what people's goals are, it does make it easier to work, and it does make it easier to compromise. And you also want to be open-minded. That's something I've learned through life, is to be open-minded. And so maybe if you go in not just totally dug in, you might get a better result. One thing I also wanted to add was that we're still a city where more people commute out of our city and return home at night to live here, and it would be great to bring more businesses downtown, more businesses within the city limits, so people don't go into Seattle as much every day.
For the next question, let's start with Robin, and then go towards Bob, and then we'll snake back to Chris. I'm going to make it complicated. Is that good? Okay. Recognizing that strong communities depend on schools, the physical and mental health of citizens, and good jobs, what will you do to encourage diverse businesses to locate to the Auburn area?
Can you say it one more time? It's
Absolutely.
A long one.
Recognizing that strong communities depend on schools, the physical and mental health of citizens, and good jobs, what will you do to encourage diverse businesses to locate to the Auburn area?
I think you mentioned schools in the beginning.
I did.
Yes. So it's a great question. As a school board director, that's one of the things that I've been working on a group called the Cities and Schools Forum. And one of our big things is we sponsored a task force to go out and work with our business partners and to see if there was opportunities where we can provide potentially apprenticeships or other things that would help create a good pipeline for our businesses. When our kids graduate, they need somewhere to work. They need things that are available for them. And so I'm encouraged with this task force and other things that I've been working on to help prepare our students to take on those jobs, because that's what our community is looking for. I work in the aviation industry, and we're anticipating 1.2 million jobs as a shortage in the next 10 years. We need our kids ready to take on those positions. So working in programs where we're encouraging STEM with our kids, we're going to be ready for those businesses to have that quality, talented pool of students that are skilled and ready to take on those jobs. So I think it's really important that we here as a city work on getting, our workforce ready for those businesses to take on those jobs.
Thank you.
Well, we have a very diverse community here in the city of Auburn, which I am very grateful for because of the different perspectives that we receive from all of the individual diverse groups, the different ethnic groups that we have offer so much for our community. And our schools have gone through diversity training. Our college has gone through diversity training, and our city council and our staff are going to be going through diversity training. And this shows an indication that your city and the council and the mayor are behind taking advantage of all of the diverse qualities that the different groups will offer. I think our students, I'm a definite advocate for education and want to see that all of our young people get a good education, which will prepare them to work in these kinds of environments and these jobs. And I think that we would like to have some of these youth stay here within our city so we can actually build on that from our colleges. We have the Auburn School District, we have the college, we have all of these different groups and organizations working closely together to assure that we have that kind of an outcome. Thank you.
So I completely agree with Robin and Bob. I will kind of take a little bit different perspective on this one. I am doorbelling every single night, even that is rain or shine. And I heard from you that you have a different worry. You are actually afraid that businesses are going to leave Auburn. And we as city council members working with the businesses and community should support what citizens want. It's a supply and demand. If we don't have somebody that will buy our product, we cannot sell it, whatever it is, even if that is a business, even if that is a school class, we don't have students. So we have to actually see why our businesses are leaving. And I heard you. You are very much concerned about businesses leaving. Yes, we have a diverse population. We have diverse businesses. We have a Boeing, what is a large business, but we also have a small mom and pop shops. But at the same time, you are concerned that those businesses are going to leave. So we have to hear you. And I heard you. We have to bring more businesses in, and then those businesses will run as a supply and demand. The next step, what education has to be done, provide, work with the businesses, and ask training to be done, and provide the schools and classes for businesses.
If you want to attract a diverse range of businesses, you need to eliminate the barriers to starting new businesses. You know, if you wanted Amazon to come down here and build a new hub, you know, they have the money. They could build a new bridge across the river if they had to. If you've got a small business coming down here and you'd like them to locate here, you need to have reasonable prices on what they need to open a business. So you need to have the infrastructure in place, you need to have the traffic managed well, you need to have a good street, you need to have a sewer that works, you need to have all of those things out there run efficiently enough. We can't plan what business someone wants to start. You know, we're not going to be able to say we want to pick this business and have them come here, not at the small business end. At the small business, instead of picking winners and losers, you just need to deal with the inputs to the business. Can they find a space that's safe for them to operate in? Do they have reasonable traffic to get there and back? And do they have a good supply of workers in the community that'll work for them when they need to hire?
I think it really is important to have incentives for businesses to relocate here, but it's also important that we support good paying jobs, good wages for people. And that's really, people will not want to come to work for businesses unless that happens. So I'm really supportive of strong wages, of the work that the unions do, of apprenticeship programs. So I think that's really important. And the second thing is, we want to make sure that there's a good infrastructure, that the sidewalks are good, that it's just, it is enticing for a business to actually relocate here. So those are important things.
As a strong community, we need strong education as well, which would translate from kindergarten all the way to technical college to two-year college to university. We need these people because it translates into jobs, and jobs that will stay in our community and will attract businesses that are like Boeing and that it's here already. But we need to have technical training for these folks, for these young people, so that these businesses will end up staying in our community.
And James and I are pretty much on the same boat here. We need to, in City Council, we need to talk with the businesses that are thinking about coming here, see what they need. Look at the businesses that we have here, like Multicare. I went through 2 battles with cancer, 3 heart attacks, while going through 13 months of chemo. Very familiar with Multicare. Thanks a lot. I'm still alive. Now, to give you a perfect example, my best friend down in Texas, his daughter went to high school. In the morning, she took her core classes that she needed to graduate from high school. But then in the afternoon, after lunch, she went to a separate site, a VOTEC-style charter school, where she was trained how to be a nurse's aide. Upon completion of high school, she was certified and licensed to be a nurse's aide, and she stepped right into a job the next week after she graduated. Now we have the aerospace industry here. Do they need lathe operators? What do they need? We need to find out from them what they need, then discuss with the school district. It's like, okay, this is what the businesses are looking for. How can we put a curriculum in like that will help them? And we got to be competitive. We can't just be like everybody else. There's this business occupancy tax that's going to chase people out of here. So it's like, there's a supply and demand side in economics where you've gone past the point of diminishing returns, and we're almost hitting that point. So it's like a 3-way partnership. We got to work together.
You going to pass it to Ryan? Thanks.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. All right. How about one more refresher on that question? Just so I can make sure.
Give it to Ryan.
Yep.
Recognize that strong communities depend on schools, physical and mental health of citizens, and good jobs. What will you do to encourage diverse businesses to locate to the Auburn area?
That is a pretty broad question. I'll say that. There's a lot
On
to cover
purpose.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll focus on attracting the businesses, diverse or not. Just attracting businesses to our community is really important. And I think some of the things that are holding us back are some of our processes and procedures, getting business licenses. The bureaucratic red tape really needs to be cut. We need to take a look at streamlining our processes and procedures. That's something that I've done in my career. And I feel like I've developed a pretty good skill in that. So that's something I'm ready to tackle if elected. I think it's really important, like Ken said, to communicate with our businesses and figure out what their needs are. They have specific technical needs that advance as the technologies advance, and we need to work with our school districts to create programs that create a pipeline to get those workers right in, because like somebody said earlier, not everybody is ready to go to a four-year college out of high school. I was one of them. Even though I graduated valedictorian, college wasn't really my thing, and I was ready to enter the job force. So it would have been really nice to have some more technical training, and I think that it's important that we work towards that to try to help provide that for businesses and businesses that want to come in. We already have the labor, the skilled labor ready to go for them.
Thank you. Final question, and we'll start with Chris. Does that work for you? Let's give him a mic. What do you believe to be the top three challenges for businesses in our city, and how might you, as a city council member, work with the business community to address them? I'm going to say it one more time.
You don't want me to ask to repeat it.
No. When we get to you, Ryan, I'm teed up. I'm ready. What do you believe to be the top three challenges for businesses in our city, and how might you, as a city council member, work with the business community to address them?
Well, I certainly think, having good transportation is really important so people can get to work. And so working on, expanding the options for commuting, working on the bus lines, working on parking solutions. Those are really important. Secondly, having the infrastructure for business is vital. So having, it's the 21st century. So, I know we're working already on, but it is really important to keep moving forward on things that like high-speed cable, internet, 21st century technology service, as well as just the basic infrastructure like roads and sidewalks and some public safety too. And then the third thing is, as we've talked about already, having, workforce that's ready to jump into those businesses, having people graduate from school with STEM education. And my wife and I, she's in the audience there, we're very, proud of our daughters who graduated from Auburn High and, jumped right into the workforce.
Thank you.
First, we need qualified employees. That's why the training thing is very important, especially technical training. So we need to look at that. Transportation is also very important because the fact that, like Robin said earlier, there's 40,000 people that's coming into our city to work. So we need to find solutions for that as far as transportation is concerned. How they are coming into our city, and where can they find parking, that kind of stuff. And we need solutions for those things. The next thing is infrastructure. Our infrastructure, we need to fix our roads, our sidewalks, and that's what people are looking for, our businesses are looking for. That's one of the amenities that they look for in a society, in a community, and if it's a conducive community to come and do business. Thank you.
I think we all got pretty much the same answer. Were you looking at my notes? Anyway, yeah, pretty much an educated labor force, infrastructure, and diminishing the cost of business, making us competitive, including taxes and a tax base. It's like, you can lower taxes and raise revenue. Lowering the taxes will bring more business in and increase revenue.
All right, well said, Ken. All right, top three issues affecting our businesses: possible B&O tax increase, possible implementation of a B&O tax, or tax increases in the future, communication between our business community and the city council, and then our processes and procedures. And I've already begun working with the Chamber of Commerce to open up lines of communication if elected. Like I said, I think I've developed some good skills in taking a look at processes and procedures and looking at ways to develop better, more efficient paths to reach a goal. And then I do not support a citywide B&O tax.
I think the top 3 challenges for businesses are: 1, economic development. I think it's important that we collaborate with our local and our regional partners, position our region for increased economic vitality. We've talked about today, a lot of us want to look at the downtown and revitalize that. It's going to take a partnership with our businesses to get that done. The other thing is education and workforce. We've also talked about that in my work with the Cities and School Forum. We're trying to make sure that our students are those ones that are the qualified applicants ready to take those jobs on when necessary. And we want to continue to also create more programs where we can build up those skilled workers to take on those positions. And the third challenge, I think, is business advocacy. I know our businesses are looking for us as a city to help them build coalitions so that we can have public policies at the local level that are assisting them. And I think it's all of us together that's going to make these challenges work.
Well, I really think that we're very fortunate as a city, and one of the very few cities in the region here that actually does not have a B&O tax. That's not to say in the future we may have to take a look at that, but if we do, I think that we need to be very selective about how we do that. Also, it's very important to have a good infrastructure, which includes your roads, all of the things that go in underneath that road to sustain the quality of life and sustenance within our city. Also, especially in the downtown corridor, you're looking at definite parking problems. We're still a couple of years away from seeing our new parking structure, which will relieve some of that. But as you can tell, we've got 2 new buildings going up out here. This is going to be a very, very interesting downtown when all of these buildings are constructed, mixed use, what have you. And I think that it's very important that we take into consider all of these issues. I know that it really is important, especially for the smaller businesses, to avoid taxing and applying any particular fees that they will not be able to support. And I think that we want to encourage the businesses to come to Auburn, especially the ones with family wage jobs. So we don't want to have any detriment to that. Thank you.
So I agree with all that is already said. No B&O tax, no increase on a tax. But I would like actually to add on also support I'm doorbelling for last 5 months, and I heard from you, many of you are business owners, and many of you try to open business in Auburn, and you share very transparently with me what issue or problem you had. So I think that City Council and Auburn have a really great opportunity to improve how we are supporting our businesses. Together working with the Chamber of Commerce. For example, length of the time for licensing sometimes could be so long that business will give up opening and move to town that will, in 7 to 3 days, resolve the problem. Also, fees, licensing are really so high, on a high end, that businesses rather decide to go Bonnie Lake, go to other towns, and those are also problems that I heard you are concerned about and you want to change. So your opinion is my opinion. Your concern is my concern. I am going to work with you to resolve those problems.
I'd say first, a skills gap. There are many jobs that are hard to hire for because we do not have people in the local workforce that have the skills that are required. So either you have to train people locally or you have to bring them in. But if you want to bring them in, that gets to the second challenge, the cost of housing here. If you want to have somebody move here, or if you want to have somebody stay here, you have to pay them a lot more than if they're in a lower cost part of the country. That's a major competitive disadvantage that we have because of the growth throughout the Puget Sound region. Houses that used to be $100,000 are now $500,000. Somebody has to earn enough money to pay for that. You have to pay your employees enough to be that person. And finally, I do think that the cost of regulation and the time of regulation in many cases could be streamlined simply so that the business can make the decision up front. Is this the place we want to go? Do we have enough certainty on this process, enough certainty on these costs that we can pencil it out and decide that this is worth investing here versus somewhere else? So the clearer you can make the rules and the simpler you can make the process, the easier it is for them to decide that, yes, this is the right place.
Thank you. Okay, we're at the portion of the evening where we're going to have closing remarks. Each candidate will have a minute for those remarks, and we'll start with Arlista. She has been quietly, patiently waiting her turn.
Well, I'd just like to say that it's quite evident that local elections is probably the most important elections of a community. It directly impacts the citizens of the community. As far as the school board, it's the safety and security of the buildings that your students are in, the programs and activities that are being offered, and services, and the curriculum that's being used. So I would just urge everyone to have a conversation with their neighbor and friends about how important this election is, and to please vote.
Pacific's a small town. We don't have the leverage that a town even as big as Auburn has, let alone what the giants in Seattle have. Our issues are, how do we deal with the growth that's going on around us? How do we remain competitive? How do we align with our neighbors who share a school district, a fire district, a freeway, even the same homeless people? We share a lot with our surrounding cities. We have the same issues as everyone. We need to efficiently meet them.
So I would like to repeat. I heard that your concerns are safety. Your concerns is the roads. Your concerns are businesses. Your concerns are how to communicate with the other surrounding towns and build the future. So I heard you. I heard that you have a huge concern how Auburn is going to grow in the next 20 years. So thank you tonight for being here. And I ask you to vote and to vote for me. Vote Vera Orlandi Kodak.
Well, I had the honor last year of serving as your deputy mayor. I turned over that baton to Deputy Mayor Bill Pelosa earlier, and he's doing a great job for his last year. And currently, I represent our city on many local and regional boards and committees. I have voted for diversity training for council and city staff, positive domestic violence initiatives and resources, plans for a second sound transit parking structure in Auburn, and more notably have voted against general tax increases and additional car tab fees. We still have much to do in our city as we continue to grow, and I strongly believe that I can be the catalyst to help improve our city during the next 4 years. I remain accessible to all citizens of Auburn and hope you will support my re-election campaign and vote for me in November to continue representing you as your Auburn council member. Thank you.
I felt welcomed to this community and honored when you, the Auburn voters, elected me as your school board director for the Auburn School District. I've taken my role seriously and moved important initiatives forward, like racial equity, a strategic plan for the district where the goal is for all kids to graduate, and introduced and pushed forward a bond that brought 8 new schools to our community. I am now harnessing all this experience I've gained on the board to expand my sphere of influence to address pressing issues within our city, as well as create a welcoming environment where residents want to live, work, and see their businesses flourish. I know how to work well with others. I am ready to partner, and I will get things done for you. I am asking for your support in this upcoming election. Please vote for me. Thank you.
I'm a goal-oriented leader that partners with my team to bring about creative solutions to problems and issues. I think it's very important that we build a long-term sustainable future vision for our city, and I encourage all of you to help me help the city build that plan. Please vote for Ryan Burnett for Auburn City Council.
Well, I'm pretty comfortable with all the candidates we have on the panel here. Win or lose, I think Auburn's in good hands. City Council's job is to manage the business of the city, and the taxpayers are footing the bill. We need someone on City Council who's looking out for them. The taxpayers' concerns should be addressed first. There are certain things the City Council can do, certain things we can't do. But we need to reestablish priorities. For example, discussing banning vaping in the city parks when we got hypodermic needles in the schoolyards and in the playgrounds. Let's worry about vaping later. Let's take care of the important stuff first. And in closing, I'd like to quote two revolutionaries. Edmund Burke, an Irish political philosopher from the 1700s who was a big fan of both the American and French revolutions, and Malcolm X, a black activist from the 70s. All evil needs to succeed is for good men to do nothing, and if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
As your next Position 3 City Council member, I want to help create an Auburn that is welcoming to everyone and ensure it is a place where everyone sees an opportunity for themselves. Auburn is an amazing city with a ton of potential to continue to grow and attract new residents and businesses. I'm looking forward to meeting you and your vision for Auburn over the next coming months. I'd be honored to have your consideration and your vote. My name is James Jairaj, running for Auburn City Council, Position 3. Thank you.
I'd like to, thank the Chamber for hosting us and putting this great event on. And I'd like to thank everyone who came out. I really appreciate your being here and participating in your government. I just want to say, I take this responsibility incredibly seriously. It's a challenge, but it's something that I'm really dedicated to working hard on, is to making sure that Auburn remains a great city. And I really would like you to vote for me. And I think the vote for me is also a vote for our future and for our families and for just the great city of Auburn. So thank you very much for coming out.
I would like to thank the candidates, and I'd like to thank the Auburn Area Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to thank all of you for being here tonight. This is the end of our forum, and I hope you have a nice evening.